Right, it's a freight train, and we've got to get connected. Well, I mean, they're my peer group, so we're very connected. Unfortunately, Brian Scott's not in this room; he was in before. But yeah, the point, right, being is right now getting this stuff fixed is free. If they get too far off path from us, then it gets hard and expensive, and then you get into these potentially.
Well, what's interesting? I almost feel the enterprise is craving it from where I sit with the process stuff. Yesterday I got 4 emails asking me, our process and service is connected. How do we connect those? The enterprise wants things to be
right.
connected,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, do we hear?
Mm-hmm.
So the process work is going on. What is their timeline? Because you would think that the process work would be driving the work that we're trying to architect. Right? And so
they right now, so they're on a 2-year journey. The first part of the journey is just to inventory the processes, but that work is going to end in February, but some of it will end in January. But right after that is this year, so pretty quick, is then they're going to map, right? And mapping means they have a meta model. Is it the right one? Is it different than some of ours?
Meta model for the processes.
For how processes relate to services?
And that hasn't been worked out.
Okay.
So, I would say that I would qualify your statement and say I would not say that the process work drives this work. What I would say is this work will influence how they create relationships, not the other way around, because there are several instances where there's sets of relationships being set up in processes. There's only one area. Does that make sense?
So what is feeding the requirement? Okay, so let me take a step back. So when I think about the work that we're trying to do here, it is at the end of the day, right, gonna provide a data model for folks to be able to go in and ask questions and understand how we're organized and make decisions based on that data, right? That's at the end of the day. In order to be able to do that effectively, right, it's going to be driven by a certain set of needs and requirements, etc. So what's feeding our, what's happening on the business side, folks around it, right? That's going to feed the requirements in for what it is we're trying to build.
Yeah, I think we get to that actually in the afternoon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's sort of two things, right? There's a lot that's already been built, and so you say, oh, I've already built it, I already have requirements. How can I fix what I already have or make it better? And then there's this other thing of building going on, right? So yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Well, this is Andy. Well, that's feedback. It's really weird. So I could show you how Consumer Bank is using this. I can't send it out, but I could show you how we're using this to really look at what business processes we want to go improve. And it's pretty mind-numbing stuff, where we have tied in complaints, risks, issues, systems, and FTE to prioritize our process improvement efforts.
I was just trying to make sure I understood where it was coming in from. Something drives us, right? So you said, well, we got to look at all the current state type stuff, and that's going to drive a lot of what we have to do. Okay, I just wasn't sure. Maybe current state shouldn't be what the current state is. So is there any?
Oh, you'll hear about it.
You're absolutely right.
It
is not what it should.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
Okay. So,
but what just really quickly, what's driving the requirements are each of the disciplines that are in the room that need access to this information, but for different use cases.
yeah.
So SGO has got a set of use cases. Process engineering has a set of use cases. Enterprise architecture, et cetera.
And so initially that's going to solidify. That's our goal one. That's our phase one, so to speak. Our scope is limited to those 5 or 6 processes that were in the.
We have two things that can limit our scope. One is the business entity, the business objects we're talking about, right? Because they can go like process, service, capability, facility. Like we have a limit on 6 of those, that helps. The other one is, we've got 6 or 7 areas that helps limit the scope. But yeah, the opportunity is Danny's point is actually even more than just, hey, we have a current state and we can get better, more authoritative information that's more consistent. We can potentially do even more with it if we have an easy environment where we can add new data sets like complaints on top of it. Because we can then start creating new insights. Yeah.
And Andy will talk more about this a little bit later too, but it's more than just getting the data organized. It's also how do we curate it, keep it living and breathing, and share it in the right way via those disciplines.
So to me, I have that in the foundation, right?
Sure.
So,
Right.
It's there, but it's not there. We don't have good governance around it.
Right.
Management around it, all the other stuff, right?
And one of the components we picked was project, which is the hardest to keep living and breathing because you always get new projects all the time coming in. So,
So I actually just sent a slide that we'll hopefully be able to include after lunch, where we went out and looked at the number of changes on average per day in a variety of different areas, like organization changes and project changes, just to give you a perspective of how transactional this is.
Okay. So are there any other questions, or is there anything else we need to review before we go into project scope and benefit? Okay. So thank you, Donna, for the question. Kind of gets us into our discussion, our key discussions for today. Now, in our last party, back in November, Dan gave us the charge during the live portion of day 2. Yeah, I'm putting Dan on front screen. Dan's in the room with us today.
He's behind
Dan
us.
from the EPM said, you know what, guys, you need to come up with a finalized scope and benefit of the project.
I did.
You did. I took notes, so I paid attention. And then thankfully, after the third day of the meeting, we were able to document both, and we have them captured on this page. So for those of you who may not have been in the room when we had this discussion, and for those of you on the phone, we're on page 5 of the presentation that project scope and benefit. This is it. We want to produce a service that will deliver interconnected business information views. The initial set of business components includes applications, processes, services, projects, organizational information, and capabilities. It will be supported by technology and have a dedicated support team and will follow a fully documented business process. The benefit of EIF includes better insight into operational efficiencies, risk reduction, and cost avoidance through a unified infrastructure of people, process, function, and technology. Now, as you look at that, you're probably referring to the very top of the screen and saying, what in the world is a 2MC? What is that? You know what a business charter is. A project charter is. You got to know what a business case is. But what is the 2MC? Does anybody know what that is? Not Rick. Don't answer Rick, because you know. That's a 2-minute conversation.
Oh, no, that's what that is?
That's what that is. We decided in our meeting last month or 2 months ago, we needed to have a 2-minute conversation with anybody who wanted to know what this work was about. Well, this is it. This is what we came up with. And so you'll see this type or some variation of this verbiage in our project charter, in our business case, in our requirements. It's going to carry through. This is the theme of the work here. So, Dan, we have a scope and we have a benefit. I think this team gets an A for that. Do you have a question?
Yeah, So I think I understand the scope, but I'm going to ask a clarifying question.
Yes, sir.
How much are we to just deliver the integrated information views, or does the scope include some of corporate properties, for example, using that information to do something business valuable?
Yeah, today they already are, accountable for rationalizing, keeping our properties, managed. So the information, and they get information today, right? I think if we do this in a way where they get what they get today, but we can say, you get what you get today, but no one else has a problem because of the way the data is connected is fixed, that's okay. If we get them better data, we say, actually, you're getting better data now, then it's like better. And if it's like, you're getting richer data you didn't think you could get and wouldn't even ask for it because you would think it was millions of dollars and years away, then we get even higher level up. But I would say that, Alan, that's a good question. It's true of many stakeholders in this room, right? We have service management, properties management,